Artelico3. In today's video, we're going to bring back the type of video that is a staple of the channel, a type of video that people seem to like. I'll sift through the comment section sometimes, and I'll always see a comment or two. Let's bring back the Mailbin, or let's have another Mailbin. So today we're going to do a Mailbin. We got some raw stuff, some graded stuff I bought, and then there's also, we're just going to throw this into the video, some SGC reholders, and one card that actually got a bump, which was awesome. So probably saved that card for last, because I was pumped up when I saw that happened, but I definitely thought the card was an exceptional eye appeal and probably was deserving of a bump. So here we go. Some raw stuff. So pretty much anything I buy raw, the intention is to try to grade it for the most part. It just kind of depends on the future grading prices, grading companies. Maybe SGC goes down to $15 a card for bulk in the future. I could see that happening. With PSA, I think their bulk rate's going to sit around 50. So here we go. Steven Jackson refractor. So that's a 2004. So lots of experience with this set, buying up Fitzy, Eli. This one looks good. I think that one's got a chance at a 9. This is a neat card that I went back and forth with the seller. It's a platinum medallion to 50. So that's a crazy low print for this set and year. Plus it's Emmitt Smith. So a trend you'll see with the mail is it's a lot of older stuff, not like vintage, but you know, cards from 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 10 years ago even. But Emmitt Platinum, I think that was $160. I'll try to throw out prices because I have pretty good memory on some of these. Quantum Leaf Brady. You know, you can always tell by a picture if the card has somewhat of a chance. And now with Quantum Leaf 2000, your expectations aren't very high. You know, for me, I'd be looking for a card that I thought would be like a strong 8. This one actually looks really good. I'll have to take it out and look closer at it, but I actually think this one might have a chance at a 9. I don't think I've ever seen a 10 of this card, so that's probably not going to happen. Probably a low pop on that. That'd be interesting to look up. 97 Fleer. I bought this from a guy that watches the channel, so 755 is the tracking number. Last 3 digits for feedback, but you know, I've had a lot of success grading this with PSA and SGC, so scooping these up 75 to 100 raw. Not a ton that can go wrong with Fleer 97 baseball, so I like to target those David Ortiz's or David Arias's when they do pop up. This one's already been graded. I think there's just a slight corner issue on this one, but the rest of the card's really clean. The back edging is nice, so Tomlinson Best 1499. This has been graded too. 8.5. Slight surface, like very faint scratch, and then the edging. I think most of the edging looks like that. I would venture to say you could find a PSA 10 and the edging's not quite that bad, but it's probably got some edging going on. But I just had this one as an 8.5, so definitely a tweener card. Back in the day, this would have been sent, you know, without a question asked. But the way the expense of grading and the secondary market's fallen off on a lot of these graded cards even, so it makes it more difficult. So this is probably a card that I'll end up sending in, but it's got a corner right there that's like it's almost coming up. It's the rest of the card's very, very clean, so I think this could still get an 8.5. 8 or 8.5 is my guess for this Roth, but it's probably worth it to grade it. I'll probably wait until PSA drops to the next level. Grade it for like $50. Eli looks really clean. I could see this one getting a 10. I have it as a 9+, a 9+, 9.5, somewhere in that range. Just slight white on the corners, but fabulous example of the base finest. This Rice, I didn't expect to win this. I think I just dropped in a bid at like $45, and I took it down. And got it in, and I always like to look closely at the nines to see, maybe why it got a 9. And centering's like 60-40 right to left. There's just a slight white in that corner, but overall, great example of a card. Of the Rice PSA 987, which is about a $50 card, and the PSA 10s, I think it's around $425. Okay, this is take an example of the inconsistency of PSA's grading, and I think some inexperience of people looking at cards like this. But there might be something else going on with this one, but I saw it online. I saw it was a 7, so I was like, okay, it's a 7. So what's going on with this one to make it a 7? And I looked at the back, and that's like a 10 edge right there. And that's slightly white there. The front looks really good. It looks centered. There's a little white. I thought this card looked like an easy 8, so grab the pliers and get to work on that one, because that one's got better eye appeal than a 7. This one came in. This is just an interesting Jordan card. It's a 94 Choice Silver. You could call it a baseball rookie, but I'm not really satisfied with this slab. Look at that scratching. Positive thing is I can send this in for $8 and get it reholdered, but man, if you're gonna sell a slab like that, and possibly it was mentioned in the description and I didn't catch it, but I don't think it was. 8.5 Brady upper deck, tons of experience with this one. Been sending this card in for over a decade. You see that white on the back corner, and the front's just got a sliver, so I think the only imperfection with this card is that corner, so this is a great example. So an 8.5. I think that was around 800. The Jordan was like 225. The Rookies and Stars Brady, I think, was 2,600. So just some pricing. This was like 160. That's cheap. But PSA 10 Rookies and Stars, it's got a lot of edging. I didn't think it looked like an impressive 10. See that edging right there? The top edge has some chipping too. And I think this bottom left corner is slightly imperfect, so I would probably have that rated as a 9. Here's a Falk. Top Stars on-card Falk auto. I think I paid $50 for this. I definitely that's overpaying. I think that image is superimposed because, of course, he came over in the 98 off season before the 99 season, which they won the Super Bowl that year. But it's Top Stars auto. I just thought it was interesting. This is sick. Frank Thomas Finest Gold to 50, and that's Finest 2004, so it's about $125, I think. But great card. I haven't looked at it closely, but I think it's got a great chance at like a 9. That'll go into the PC too. Cards like that are tough to come across. Spa 11 Julio 299. His hobby's really cold, but it's already graded 9.5, so I'll end up sending this somewhere. I don't know where really. A lot of cards I just have in a box right now because I'm not sure where to send them at the moment. I think things will change here in the next 3 months in terms of pricing and stuff. SPX Breeze. This is just he had it at a certain price, and I've noticed if you just offer something at even cards that are just buy it nows without best offer, a lot of times people will come back with a lower price, and I do that in my store all the time because I'm never, for most cards, I'm never just completely set on that buy now price, and it has to be that or nothing else. I think if you have that mindset, you're going to miss out on a ton of sales. Okay, so that was the SPX, and this was from the same seller, the Platinum Medallion for, I think, $17.50, which I think that's a steal for this card. Platinum Medallion to 25. Breeze's stuff is overlooked, pretty low right now, so this is definitely going to be a card for the future, but 25 print. It looks pretty good. I think it might pull an 8. But great card there. The LT Rookies and Stars. This is the XRC, of course, from 2000. So a couple of these, they were like $15 a piece. And then we saw the graded 10. Let's just take a look at this one raw. So it's got a rougher corner for sure. Front looks good. It looks slightly worse than the 10, so. These are going for like $25 now, which is crazy low for the Topps Breeze. I think when he got really hot, they were pushing maybe 125 raw. I think they were 70 to 125 for a while there. But, out of sight, out of mind. Chris Paul flagship. These are always fun. Just evaluate them when they come in. This, I don't think I'm going to send that one in because it looks like an 8.5 to 9, and for cards like that, it's just not worth it. This was an offline deal. Dry Saddle, Young Guns, 2014. It's a pretty big card now. You got Ichiro. That's flagship. This is a card I have a lot of experience with. It's got a little white. To me, it looks like an 8, so probably just throw that in the store. All the raw cards I sell. And in the description, it should say NM to mint condition. So most cards raw that I sell should be in the 7 to 9 range. If it's lower, I'll note something on the card, like surface wrinkle or something. Top the Hot Gloves Bonds. I think one of these flames has an imperfection, so that might hurt it in the grading process. But nonetheless, fantastic card. It's about 110 for that one. Brady Scores raw. I think they're sitting 250, 250-ish. This one just looks like a 7.5, so I'll run it in auction. No serious flaws, but just not like an overly impressive raw copy either. But perfect for a collector. So Score 2000. This was good. I think this would be a great buy in the future. $220. Get an S-Jacks Contenders PSA 10. It's Contenders football. It's got a huge following. I think eventually Canton will come calling, and I could see this card being over 1,000 in the future. Tomlinson Bowman Chrome 1999. That's an SGC 9. Just looks like it's pretty accurately graded, which I'm not surprised with. But some crazy deals on the SGC stuff, especially when it's put in auction. And I've noticed when I sell SGC in auction, it doesn't tend to do that well. And this is sick. This is Hot Hands Flair. I play on Hot Gloves, and I think in basketball it's Hot Shots. So the Hot Hands Emmett, that's a PC card right there. That's cool. Here it is. Of course, we gotta have this, right? Vic SPX. I mean, it was sitting there at just a tad over what I just sold a PSA 8 for. So why not PSA 9? The SPX Gold 250. Okay. These are SGC reholders, so they were in the older SGC flips, and I just sent them in to have them put into the new flips. There's a couple monsters off the bat, but these were, I don't know. Last spring I bought the Jordan rookies, and I was seeing fantastic value in the SGC 8.5 grade because one, it was SGC, everybody wants PSA, and two, I know that they grade these cards tough, so I was feeling like I was getting a card that could be a PSA 9 on a different day at like PSA 8 pricing, if that makes sense, because the SGC 8.5 was pretty close to the PSA 8, so I feel like I was getting a great card for the grade. And these 8.5s are great, so I'll probably sell one of these and keep the other one. But fantastic eye appeal on these 8.5s. Okay, this is funny because I always rant and rave about the SGC auto on the slab, and they graded this with the auto, and I sent it back and I said, can you re-slab it without the auto grade, please? It's a PC card, and they did. They took off the 10, and it looks a lot better in my opinion. So that's the Spa Gold Peterson. We've got this Mano's going to slot into the Mano run because I think I sold a 6.5 the other day because I knew I had an SGC 7 coming back. So SGC 7 man. There's a couple there's 3 Pete Roses here, so these are all part of the PC run. Now, for my Rose run, Tops run, it doesn't have to be all SGC or all PSA. I just find cards that have great eye appeal, centered well, and then I put those in. So there's the 8. It's a little different than some people like to collect, and I think you can collect how you want. I don't need to follow the PSA register and get points because it's not like I'm ever going to contend with somebody that's got like all 9s and 10s of the Pete Roses. So just collect the way I want. 65 Tops in an 8. Beautiful eye appeal on that. That just looks great. And these older Tops vintage cards, I just think they look sensational in this with the black. So there's the 7 and the 69. This card just slid in there, Piazza. Just a card that was in the older one. I thought it'd look better in the new flip. And last but not least is what I was talking about when the video started. So honesty, transparency, what we look for when we grade cards. And you know, this is a card that came in. You know, it had the PWCC sticker, high eye appeal, which, you know, I usually don't take into account too much. But in this case, I think they were right, because this card came in, and when it came in, I was like, man, that is a blazer. And it came in the old SUC holder as an 8. And I actually put a note on the card, and I said, this card is sensational eye appeal. I actually think it's an 8.5 or even better. And they agreed with me. And I don't. Can you see PSA doing this? Being like, yeah, that card looks better than an 8. And this Gretzky Topps rookie gets an 8.5. So an 8 to an 8.5, it got bumped. I mean, look at the centering on that pup. The back's great. I think it's very accurately graded. So 8.5 Gretzky, that's PC right there for sure. That's when I scooped up an auction maybe like a year and a half ago. I think I paid $3,200 or something for it. But so that's we're gonna close out with that. Saw some cool cards. Definitely a fun Mailbin. I'll get this one uploaded for you. Thanks. Take care.